Hi, this is Jim from XQ in English, and today I will be doing a commentary in English for a game played by two grandmasters. The match was found in a book by Grandmaster Zhao Xinxin. The translated name of the book would be A Decade of Battles in the A-League, which is one of the premier Xiangqi events in the Xiangqi world today. Zhao Xinxin was born in 1988 and he hails from Zhejiang province. He is one of the top exponents in the world today and is well known for his very aggressive style. Over the recent years, he has started Xiangqi Dao, a Xiangqi dojo for teaching Xiangqi, which has many branches and is blossoming in China today. In this match, Grandmaster Yinchuan will take on Master Jiang Chuan, who was the budding young star at that time. Jiang Chuan would later become a grandmaster in his own right and has won many major tournaments. One of Jiang Chuan's biggest achievements would be having broken the past Guinness World Record for the number of simultaneous blindfold chess. His current record stands at 1 versus 26. As for Grandmaster Yinchuan, he has established himself in Xiangqi for many years, having won many tournaments both in China and international wise, and is regarded as one of the top Xiangqi players of all time. Before we go into the match itself, there's some background information to be known. In 2003, the competition system demanded that a game of rapid chess was to be played for 3 games with regular timing. Lots would be drawn to determine which game was to be the rapid chess match. For rapid chess in that tournament, each player was allotted only 30 minutes, and for every move that was made, 10 seconds would be added to the player's time. This rule was abolished in 2006. The match was played in the 5th round of the tournament in the A-League, and Guangdong and Beijing met in this fateful match. Red was Grandmaster Yinchuan and black was Jiang Chuan, who was a master at that time. After the lots were drawn, this match was to be a game of rapid chess. Because it was a game of rapid chess, both players started the game playing very well-known lines. Red chose the pawn opening, or sometimes called the Angel's Pawn, as a direct translation of its Chinese name, Xianren Zhilu. The thundering defense is considered to be one of the most efficient ways to counter the pawn opening. As the game was a rapid match, Red chose to play the central cannon and Black countered aggressively with the same direction cannons. Thus far, the lines of development have been normal, and there was nothing unusual about it. The opening variation was defined very quickly, as both players did not want to waste their precious time. In this opening system, one of the most important things would be the development of the chariots. Other than playing R9+1 to develop the left chariot as a rank chariot, Black could also choose to play R2+4 to develop his chariot as a riverbank chariot. In the book, Grandmaster Zhao Xinxin also studied the R2+4 variation. And at this point, because Red had already commanded a very important line, the cross riverbank rank, Red would have gained some initiative in his attack, and Black would, as it was a game of rapid chess, Jiang Chuan did not want this to happen, and that was why he chose to develop his chariot as a rank chariot in this case. And since Black developed his chariot as a rank chariot and did not move this chariot, Black chose to be aggressive and pushed his cannon forward to the Black pawn rank. This was an interesting move by black. If black had chosen to play r9 plus 4, red would have immediately attacked with c8 equals to 5 to capture the central pawn, and black would have lost more tempi. Jiang Chuan was young at that time and very aggressive, and he would not allow such a disadvantage to happen, especially in a rapid match. And that was why he chose to push his third pawn forward for an early confrontation of the pieces. The match suddenly became very exciting, and we shall see what went on. At this point, the viewer might ponder, was r2 plus 4 to develop the chariot to the riverbank a possible option? Well, it would not be so. This is what would happen if red had played r2 plus 4. And the red cannon would have no place to go. Red would have lost material at such an early stage of the game, and probably the match itself. So that was why red chose to push his pawn to the cross riverbank rank instead of the riverbank rank. At this point in the match, we can see that black had chosen to sacrifice his advisor to allow his forces to concentrate on red's left flank, and it is very obvious that he was aiming for a flank attack on red's left flank. This position was quite a fashionable variation at that time, and many other matches in the same tournament or tournaments of that time would often come to this position. At this point, black could also have chosen to. At this point in the match, black played push his advisor to the center to chase the red chariot away. However, there were two other variations that were also discussed in the book. p7 plus 1. c5 equals to 3, or traversing the cannon to the third file, was a big blunder, and red would have been much better off with r3 equals to 6 instead. And black would have a very huge advantage in this situation. These were the moves that were made in another match that was played in the Indy Cup in 2003, where Grandmaster Lu Qing lost to another Grandmaster Xu Tianhong. So p7 plus 1 would seem to be an viable alternative for black. p1 plus 1 would also be another possible variation for black. And at this stage, red will still have the slight initiative. The moves given in this variation were from another A-League match in the same tournament in 2003. He Longjiang met up with Hebei, and this was the position reached in one of their matches. Back to the game. Master Jiang Chuan chose to push the advisor forward to chase away the red chariot. And at this point, Master Jiang Chuan became very aggressive and chose to retreat his chariot to harass the red cannon. Such a move would only force the red cannon to capture the black elephant. But why did Master Jiang Chuan do this? It was because he wanted to attack, and by forcing the cannon to capture the black elephant, red's left flank would be left even more vulnerable. However, as judging from the way the match went on, perhaps, as Grandmaster Zhao Xinxin suggested, p3 plus 1 to harass the red horse might have been a better alternative. If black had played p3 plus 1, although black would have lost his pawn and an advisor and an elephant, all his pieces were active, and black's cramped position, especially with the centroid horse, would be a cause of concern. Red would still have a small advantage, but black would have a much more playable game than what went on in the match itself. Back to the match. As the match progressed, since black retreated the chariot to chase the cannon away, what did Grandmaster Yinchuan do? He captured the elephant, and black started to attack. As can be seen at this point in time, black had made it very obvious that he was going to attack red's left flank, and he had hoped that red would have tried to counter-attack, and he would find chances in this ensuing melee. Yet, to his surprise, red did not do anything at all and took his time to capture black's offending pawn, and at this point we can see that black's defense was simply shattered. There was only one advisor left, while red's defensive pieces were still intact. Red can be viewed as having built up a considerable advantage in terms of material at this point. After playing c3 plus 1, one might wonder why did black not follow up with c5 equals to 3 to attack the file, and chose to play r2 equals to 3 instead. That was because if black had played c5 equals to 3, red would have chosen to trade chariots, and black's attack would be greatly the momentum of his attack would be greatly lessened, as the chariot would be traded away. Black would not have gained much in this encounter, and that was why black decided to play r2 equals to 3 instead. At this point, we can see that although black had gained a piece in compensation for his loss of material at defense, his red had only used one chariot to pin all three major black pieces of black. In addition, the fact that black had only little defense left on his board, black was at a huge disadvantage. Zhao Xinxin, Grandmaster Zhao, had also criticized this move as being undesirable, as it gave red a chance to retreat his horse and to gain back lost material. However, if c3 minus 1 was played, red would have taken the chance to push his pawn forward and develop this horse to attack. So black was in a predicament, and in the match, perhaps because of time trouble or other reasons, he decided to push the edge pawn forward. Okay. It was very important for red to have delivered a check as an intermediate move before capturing the cannon, as after the as it will force black to lower his advisor and leave his central file relatively empty. This would allow red to have more chances to attack later on in the game, as we shall see. Okay. Red will Red had to advance his chariot in this manner at this point because he could never allow the black horse to attack with h2 plus 4. It was a natural move to make at this point. This is another interesting situation. Although black's chariot, horse and cannon were on the same flank, the red chariot was very well positioned for defense, and just only one red piece would cause the entire black attack to slow down in terms of momentum. And since black could not continue attacking, the loss of material in terms of defense and his poor positioning would become apparent and red will start his counter attack. At this point, black, according to Grandmaster Zhao Xinxin, black could have considered playing r4 minus 4 to guard and prevent the red horse from charging forward. Black will still be on the receiving end, but at least he will still have a playable game and still have his chances. And seeing that all of black's pieces had trouble continue attacking, Grandmaster Yinchuan started his attack. This move had to be made to prevent r1 plus 3. As for black, one might wonder, could capturing the red elephant be a viable option at this instance? It would not be, according to Grandmaster Zhao Xinxin, as he showed in this variation. After capturing the elephant, the red king will be allowed to move to the safety of his fourth file, and since black's attack could not continue in a very efficient manner, black will be in deep trouble, and red, on the other hand, will be able to start his final onslaught. As Grandmaster Yinchuan saw that it was his chance to attack and capture the central pawn, and this would mark the beginning of the end. Although red had secured a tremendous advantage, he still remembered to defend, and with this very deft e7 plus 9 move, black's entire attack was simply stopped and black could not continue attacking. At this point, it would just be a matter of time before red won, and the rest of the moves would show how Grandmaster Yinchuan delivered a very beautiful checkmate. Although black had delivered a check with h1 plus 3, black sacrificed his cannon and blocked the red horse, and by doing so, he allowed his king to assist in the attack, as black's entire central file was empty and very vulnerable. The importance of red's earlier intermediate move of attacking the central black's bottom rank to force the advisor back can be appreciated now. And black resigned. This is because the only legal move that black had would be to retreat his king, and black and red would simply checkmate with r5 plus 6 for the white face general checkmate. So red's final assault was impeccable and very beautifully executed. In this match, Grandmaster Zhao Xinxin suggested that black's biggest problem was having chosen to play r2 minus 2 followed by r6 plus 5. r2 minus 2 followed by r6 plus 5 to force the red cannon to attack the black elephant. The losses sustained in this play was simply too much for black to overcome later on, and red bid his time very well. He was very patient and took care of the offending black pawn, and after black's attack ran out of steam, red pounced on the chance to counter-attack and was able to get the win. Okay, I hope you have enjoyed this commentary, and I apologize for the state of my mic. Somehow it's a new mic, and somehow there's something wrong with the hardware. Please subscribe to my channel, and I will be doing more commentaries and more Xiangqi stuffs and videos soon. Thank you very much.